Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where this right here, this is the last remaining nation that is not within any faction, but there's only one faction, and that's our faction. So this is the last remaining free nation at this point. Everything else that you see here that is not us is a vassal of Free India. And we will need to deal with that. We're about 110 days away over here on our justification. But I do want to do a little bit of work on getting some of these areas a little bit more scoped out. So we'll tell these guys that they're going to frontline over here. And their offensive line, of course, is going to be just pushing to the sea. That'll be completely fine. Yes, we are indeed questioning the motives of Tondo. Perfect. So we'll get in position over there. These guys, we're going to put them over here, and this does have a connection, actually. So that's all completely fine. This is Ethiopia over here. This island is unconnected. However, it'll probably fall when they capitulate. So that'll be okay. We'll just assume that's going to be the case for now. We'll assign these guys in over here, and we will tell them that their offensive line is to just push all the way up to here, like so. Wonderful. Next up, we've got these guys. Now these guys, they are going to deal with Indochina, I think. There's still a lot to be done. And we haven't even gotten to Free India proper, Free India plus Kalachuris. This is going to be interesting. But a lot of these are going to fall very quickly, and then we'll be able to move the troops over to deal with Free India. And we're still going to have to do naval stuff as well, right? So this is going to be a little bit of work here. Okay, so this army here, we're going to have them be the ones who deal with Indochina. We have a lot of armies in this region, but these will be the ones that actually properly finish these guys off. The offensive line here will be just to push in like that. And they can execute that just as soon as they're ready. These guys, they're going to come down and attack over here. So they're going to frontline. Actually, we may have them be responsible for all of this. We're going to frontline them here for right now. There is connections over here. So that's great. And then this all over here. Yeah, we would need to push in over this way. That's fine. We'll have them come down here for now, and their offensive line will be to push, for now, to something like that. Okay, and then they can execute that. However, I'm going to take about 6 of them, and we're going to have them frontline over here, assign that in there, and their offensive line would be to push in just like this. That looks correct-ish. Approximately correct. So we will have them execute that. Excellent. That'll be all that under control, and then they'll be able to come down here and attack these guys. Perfect. Now then, these guys, they're going to be responsible for Brunei here, and they will frontline. This is not exactly the front line I want. I want the front line to be, you know, not this. Can we edit this to be this instead? No, no, we cannot. Okay, well, it'll have to be this for now. We may have to adjust that a little bit later on. Their offensive line, of course, will be to push and take the entire island of Brunei. There we go. Wonderful. Now, we don't have a way in over here. So that's something to note. We do have this, and we can send a force over here and then maybe do some naval invasions with the single army. So we'll have these guys come and frontline here. Their mission, of course, will be to offensive line to here. That did not go well. Oh, of course, because this is a different nation, technically. So right now it'll be to offensive line to there, but I'm going to choose about 6 of them, and we're going to have them invade this region. So we will have them plan a naval invasion from, I guess it'll have to be here, up over to this area. Something like that. Excellent. And we'll assign those 6 into that, and then we'll choose another 6 So we'll choose, say, these 6. And we will have them attack this island over here. So they will naval invade from, say, Dili over here, and they will come on over to here. No, I don't want to delete that. I want to assign that. There we go. And we will go ahead and execute that. Okay, so there's that under control. Now for Sulu over here, we can have another army set up for that, I suppose. We would frontline here, and then we would offensive line something along the lines of this. Now, I don't think there's a connection out here, so that might be interesting. We may have to do a naval invasion plan there. I'm going to grab 3 units here and tell them to begin planning such a naval invasion. Okay, and then we will, of course, allow that, and we'll tell all of that to proceed. Once again, we haven't dealt with any of the things up here yet. It's a potential issue, to be sure. These guys are not, I think, currently going. Oh, they don't have really a plan over here. Yeah, we should definitely give them an offensive line. No, that is not what I wanted you to do. I wanted you to do an offensive line. Just like this. And then once they have that done, then we'll come and attack this over here. Of course, that'll have to be naval invaded. So we're already working on that. So we'll execute that. Okay. These guys... Let's see, I feel like we've already got pretty much everything over here taken care of. We don't have this little area of Japan. So, we're going to need to do that. Have we already gotten this? Yes, we have. That's fine. This little area of Japan over here, we're going to split our force in half here. We'll frontline here, and then we'll select half of these divisions and frontline here. And we'll assign those in there. And then we'll select everything, and their mission will be to just offensive line, you know, something along the lines of this. Should be fine. Should fall very quickly, and then they can be repurposed over here. And that leaves us with a single 24 unit over here. Actually, 2. There are 2 24 units over here. It's a bit of a problem, to be sure. We're going to need more armies than this. That said, we may be able to hold them and maybe give a little bit of ground over here while we clean up all of this. And then we'll be able to move... Ooh, I almost threw a... It's an empty glass, but I almost threw a beverage glass onto my computer. That would have been exciting had that been full. It was not, so we're good. Okay, so... We've got this area down here. A single army should be able to deal with that. We've got this area here that a single army would be able to take out very, very quickly. And then we've got this whole area that really needs a full army group. We've got 2 armies to work with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a front line here. And we're going to do an offensive line, which will... We control this, right? Yeah, that's us. So we'll just set up an offensive line somewhere like that. And we'll just push straight on down the subcontinent. And we'll tell them to execute that. Excellent. We will have this army freed up. I do need to consider that. And then there's this section right here. We can have a small force, a small detachment deal with that, I think. So we can have a front line... Something like this. This is a really big front line for this army to deal with. There's no doubt about that. Like, that is absolutely huge. And then we'll have, say, 4 of those units be detached over to here. And they will have an offensive line to just... No. That is not what we want. They will have an offensive line to just push in something like that. And then we'll also have an offensive line over here. We'll need to garrison this area... We're going to need definitely a few more troops. To that end, I'm going to add up to 10 divisions here, 5 here, and 5 here. We need to go into heavy recruitment to get this done. There's no doubt about that. However, as far as these guys here are concerned, I want them to have their offensive line being pretty much this. I'd like to link this up. And then we'll have an army over here that tries to push up here, and these guys will mostly just chill here. I mean, there is a victory point. There's 2 victory points here. But we're going to have a hard time supplying this area, that's for sure. We may want to just give this up, actually. Okay, let's go ahead and proceed here. We'll let our units get into position. It's not like we're ready to do this, obviously. So we're going to need... Let's see, that's just a tiny little area there. And then this is a big ol' area over here. Yeah, that's basically one uninterrupted front there. So we could assign like 1 unit to hold this. And then the rest of the army up here, but that's only a single army to hold all of that. That is insanely small. That said, most of this will happen very quickly. Most of this will fall incredibly fast. Now, we're not currently dealing with all of this, but that's okay. So yeah, I think if we had several more units, several more armies, I think we'd be ready to do this. We need perhaps 3. And we don't exactly have these army groups, you know, set up in any way. So, how are we doing on Tondo for right now? We are currently about 35 days away, 40 days away. We definitely need to be maxing out all of these armies for right now. We'll assign this guy into here, I suppose, but we should really be maxing out these armies, I think. That's all we've got right now for recruitment. Looks like. Yes, that is correct. Now we can auto-deploy these at lower... We can deploy these lines instantly, and I think we probably will, but that will definitely be after we take Tondo. There's no doubt about that one. We're going to be stretched very thin here, though. And, I mean, we knew that would be the case. A lot of this will fall very, very quickly, and then we'll be able to move down. We may take some losses and have to give up some territory to free India. We'll just have to consider exactly how we're going to pull this off. It's going to be interesting. That said, we do need to work on our navy. As you can see here, we've got some naval control in some regions where it's not exactly necessary. Tondo wants to join our faction. Pass on that one. So we're going to move these guys over to the Labrador Sea. This is Naval Invasion support. They don't need to be here anymore. I believe we control this. Yeah, we do. The Caribbean and the Florida coast we kind of do need to continue to support, but we don't necessarily want to naval invasion support any of this over here. This is all pretty unnecessary to support right now. We do, however, want to make sure that we are supporting over in this region over here. Okay, so we'll remove all of that. That's not necessary. Java Sea is necessary. Caribbean is necessary, and the Florida coast is as well. Okay, so there we go. We'll want to make sure we have patrol craft over here as well. So we can pull, say, these guys from the central Mediterranean and put them over into the Caribbean. There we go. That should do the trick there. I'm not too concerned about the Gulf of Mexico. We are going to need some patrolling in the eastern seaboard. So we're going to pull these guys out of the eastern Mediterranean and position them up in the eastern seaboard. Perfect. We'll pull these guys from the Red Sea and we'll position them in the Arabian instead. Patrols in the East Indian coast are still worthwhile, as are the Timor Sea. However, Eastern Micronesia, not so much. We'll move those over to, say, the Solomon Islands. The Micronesian Gap, once again, we'll move them over to the Coral Sea. These guys, we'll move them over to here. That'll be fine. And these guys can definitely come down to the Tasman Sea from the Hawaii Ridge. The West Emperor Chain, this is a patrol group? That's interesting. Or is this our naval invasion support? I guess this is a patrol group. Okay, we'll move them over to the coast of Japan. Like so. These guys, they don't need to be where they are. That is for sure. We'll move them down to the West Indian Ocean, actually. And the guys up in the Bering Sea, they don't need to be there either. We should probably cover Oregon and this area over here. So we'll move them over to the western seaboard. Excellent. And what else do we need as far as navies go? Do we need to be in the Mariana region? I don't think we do. So we'll position them over in the North Pacific. Excellent. And what about the Philippine Sea? Do we need to be here? We kind of do. We kind of do need to be here. However, I don't think we need to be in the Cape of Africa anymore. This is no longer necessary, so we will move them over to the Mexican coast. We still need the Western Canal Zone to be patrolled. Where else can we find somebody? Once again, we're going to be stretched pretty thin at the beginning of this. We know that's going to be the case. I think this is about as good as it's going to get. We're going to have to just hope that we crush this quickly enough. But I think that'll be absolutely fine. I think we'll have this well under control. This is going to be a primarily land war. But this looks like this will do the trick. Excellent. Can we do any more prospecting for resources? I kind of doubt it. I wouldn't mind more resources, but no. No, we can't. That's okay. Justification of conquering Manila is finished. That's great. We're actually only negative on chromium right now. We probably should be working on additional subs. We're still pretty low on our number of subs. That said, we don't exactly have the resources to do that. How many free dockyards do we have? Okay, that many. Well, that explains a lot. We do have some free civilian factories. We expect that right now, obviously. Oh, hello. I forgot to check after we conquered Tibet. That is right. Did we check up here? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we'll definitely get those going. Okay, let's go ahead and fight Tondo. I don't expect this to be particularly difficult. And in we go. Once again, I'm going to run it on speed 5, but we're going to go down to speed 3 when we're fighting Free India. That's definitely going to be a thing. There's these guys over here. They're slightly annoying, but they'll capitulate. Should be completely fine. Yeah, they are currently crumbling. Manila has fallen. And there goes Tondo. So we'll go ahead and conquer it. And done. Okay, that of course means that these guys are now free. And we definitely want to move them up over here. Now this is a really wide front for them to try to cover. And they're not going to be super successful at that. But they're going to try. And probably fail. Excellent. So at this point, we now need to get ready for attacking Free India. This is what needs to happen. I don't suppose we're... What are we even getting from trade goods from Tondo? Like, what is down here? This is infrastructure map mode. We want resource map mode. A little bit of rubber. Okay. That's completely fine. we're going to go ahead and make sure that we are building that last unit of infrastructure here. This unit can get assigned into this army. For now, of course, we are still attempting to bulk up our armies to maximum strength. Free India is going to fall, but they're not really in position for that. In fact, we have a lot of troops that are just generally not in position. We need a lot of help up here. We're probably going to rearrange army groups at some point soon, but we just don't have the troops right now to declare on Free India. There's just too many fronts. I mean, we're being a little inefficient, right? But who's assigned to this? Who is these guys? Ah, there's only 13 units here. That would do it. Okay. So how are we doing on our recruitment? Should we bump this up even further? I'm going to double this. Let's double our recruitment right now. Excellent. The world is within our grasp. All we have to do is recruit enough troops to take it. Because at this point, we're incredibly close. They're not ready. Get out of here. Get out of here. They're definitely not ready. We don't want to create collaboration governments. That is the opposite of what we want. Fantastic. We could do some region-wide industrial integration, I suppose. Not like that's tremendously helpful when we've got free factories. Okay, how are these recruitments coming along? Reasonably good. That's very, very good. So these guys will need to, of course, get sorted into these armies. We want these armies to be maxed out, and then we can start creating a few more armies. How many in total are we going to need? Probably at least 2 armies to hold this length. No, they're not ready. We'll need something over here. I think 2 armies for this length and 2 armies for this length. Bare minimum. And we've currently got 2 armies over here. Now these guys are part of this force, so that is something to consider for sure. We'll sort these guys on in. For right now, all we're doing is we're recruiting for this push. That is literally the only thing that we are doing. How many is this? Only the one? Sure. Oh, I believe we got another one. No, we did not. Okay. So we're going to see our available manpower kind of plummet while we're recruiting this many. That's okay. We're not going to need to stay at this level of recruitment for very long. So we will assign these in over here. We still do need a number of additional divisions to get this maxed out. The other thing we might want to do is recruit in commanders with our political power right now. So we'll assign this guy over here, and that means that we do need to move 6 of these units over here, like so. That's completely fine. We'll recruit in another new commander. Perfect. No, they're not ready yet. Get out of here. We'll need a field marshal over here. So we'll recruit in a new commander, and we'll immediately promote him up to a field marshal. We can't promote him. We need 2 more command points. Right. We have an air transport wing in Korea. This is pointless. We should not. So we will have these guys forget about their air supply. There we go. And now we can promote this guy. Excellent. And he'll get assigned in here. We are going to need to move this unit. We'll move, say, this unit out of here. And then we will bring in another new commander. And we will immediately promote this guy. Yep, he'll get recently promoted. Fantastic. We're going to be out of political power here pretty soon, but that's okay. We will go ahead and recruit another new commander. And we'll do another one. We can't afford that. Never mind. We'll hold off on that. So this division will, of course... Oh, we'll need to move 2 divisions out of here. And they can move into this army. This new division can come in over here. Wonderful. No, they are not ready yet. Get out of here. There we go. And we will continue to fill up these armies for right now. And then once these are full, then we will be able to create our additional armies. And it will be wonderful. I believe that is all of the currently unassigned forces. Yes, indeed. Actually, our manpower isn't going down as much as I was expecting it to. I mean, we're recruiting very aggressively right now. And surely Free India sees all these movements and is like, this is pretty sus. But they don't seem to be too upset about it. For now, though, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we will finalize our preparations against Free India, and we will declare war on them. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.